People will often ask me if I'm the business owner, and then I'll cite through, well, I'm the business owner, I'm also the captain of the boat, I'm the plumber and the electrician. They even call me Captain Cook at times. My name is Chris Blodgett. I'm the owner and operator of North Channel Cruise Line here in Little Current, Ontario, Manitoulin Island. Today's tour, we're headed out to a property that we acquired last year. We have purchased some acreage on Louisa Island. It's part of the Lacloche Provincial Park. And the Louisa Island is now our home out there on the North Channel. We have a bit of a development going on the island there to turn it into an area that you may want to host a wedding or a corporate group.
Manitoulin's a great spot. Great place to raise your kids. We're seeing a lot of young families moving here now.
It is a unique property. There's very few other private parcels in that area of the North Channel. Ruggedness of the mountain range and the sandy beach that we have out there. We're very fortunate to have been able to acquire that property. The group of 7 loved this area. They've painted it extensively.
So the intent with the property going forward would be to develop it beyond what you see here right now. Having a permanent building here, permanent washroom facilities, potentially in the future some overnight accommodation. We're trying to have fun with this as well.
So I began my journey to Northern Ontario when I was 16 years old. My father acquired a company called Canadian Yacht Charters in Gore Bay. And I came and worked with him as a summer student, eventually found myself moving here and starting a family and living here full time. And then I branched out on my own in my mid-30s and purchased a yacht charter company that was here in Little Current.
We always knew that there was we call them retired tourists. It's the ones who drove to the island for the day. Thank you.
Thank you.
This business was started in 2013, so we've just completed our 12th season. We tried to do our culinary in-house, and it was a challenge.
The first winter I actually found myself in tears, wondering why I chose to do this because it was so slow.
And the company Prep Manitoulin, they have taken over all that for us.
Chris has been amazing. They actually approached us asking if we would consider catering their private events, their public tours. So that was great, and that was a big boost having those consistent orders.
They've been a very important part of what we've been doing here for a few years now.
That really took off, and then it was like, hire more people. This thing's really going, and now we're the catering company on the island.
I mean, he's brought lots of new tourists and ideas to the area.
Working on the island in a seasonal business, that's probably the biggest challenge, is trying to make things happen in that short window.
The planning it's perpetual, just because you have an event and you take a learning from that event. No 2 events are the same.
You're always pivoting. We've been doing that since day one.
I moved to Manitoulin Island from Toronto, so I was there from the first year that he began running that. I have a lot of office experience, and I was doing the in-house back end of the events, the website. I would say this is the least boring job I've ever had.
So the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund was a supporter of the business in the beginning. They provided some funding for the initial purchase of the boat. Probably wouldn't have been able to do it without them.
So we got a grant for expanding our patio in COVID.
Bednor helped us out with the replacement of our propulsion systems on the boat, so the engines themselves. But in startups, they'll typically match 50-50. So when we looked into expanding the business and including the island property, council was very, very supportive.
He had some needs. He needed to have visibility for his business. He negotiated with the municipality to have a spot right on the town docks.
They're very open and progressive.
And a number of First Nations gathered together to fund the new hotel. 10 or 12 years later, they're doing really well. I think the foresight people have for trying to create a business, entrepreneurs like that are really what grows small municipalities.
North Channel is known as the best freshwater cruising in the world.
The local population has increased, but coming from a place of 100,000 people compared to 1,000 people was definitely a big change, but I wouldn't take it back.
I got to the point where the traffic was so heavy, the people, just the volume. I wanted my end chapters to be my best chapters, so I moved to Manitoulin.
Just being in an area where there's a lot of places that are untouched. Tons of hiking. It's a dream.
It is big enough to be just big enough.
The vibe is just lovely.
We welcome people with open arms. It's just a lifestyle that everybody likes.
I wouldn't live anywhere else.
We're gonna play our final set. This way we're gonna wrap up the season on Louisa Island. And thanks for being part of it. Thanks for coming.
If Chris wasn't willing to jump in and do every job, this wouldn't be still going. That's the secret to starting a business.
Welcome to Louisa.
I never even knew what Manitoulin was until a year before I moved here. I'm grateful to Chris for everything.
When you have the grit to stick it out, it pays off.
It used to be that summer ended on Manitoulin Island on Labor Day, but the seasons have stretched out a little bit, which is we're quite thankful for. The weather has been holding well into the fall.
We're always looking for people that have ideas around what they can do to sort of grow the economy, give people jobs.
It's a great lifestyle.
I feel welcomed. I feel a sense of belonging.
Manitoulin Island's one of the last places that I know of that doesn't have any traffic lights.
I'm well aware that I'm quite fortunate to live on Manitoulin Island.
It's quiet. You know, I can hear the lake. I love it.
Journey is part of the thing. You have to be prepared to enjoy the ride.
We wanted to get on that list of the top attractions on the island, and I think we've done that.
This is phase 1.